You know, if you look at where people have done empirical studies of terrorism, or they've actually looked at the people who are they've universally found that there is no profile. And The Guardian just released a story about a MI5 study that said, you know, marginalization and racism are really the two factors that are involved. So if we respond by marginalizing people and treating them unfairly because of their race, we're actually increasing the types of grievances that you talked about, and our long-term strategy is catastrophic because it's going to increase the amount of unrest out there.
Well, still, you look at comparative terrorism acts by Alaska separatists versus young middle-class Saudis. I mean, there are certain things that are, you know, we have to face certain realities, why ever they arose.
You know, I get this quite a bit, and you know, that is one type of threat. And if you actually study who it is doing it, you find it's very much different than what we generally quote know in our common knowledge. And you know, all you have to do is look at the 1967 film, The Battle of Algiers, where the French colonial forces started searching all Muslim men coming out of the Casbah area, so they dressed up their women as, you know, French colonial women to look Western so that they could go through the checkpoints. This is a technique that's used. They want you to form a profile because then they know how to send the next person. And, you know, we've seen, I think there was a Belgian woman who was a suicide bomber in Iraq. You know, we've seen, you know, Adam Gadon is on the FBI's wanted list. You know, John Walker Lind. You know, what we have as our quote common knowledge of who the terrorists are isn't actually true when you get down to the empirical level in the first place. And in the second place, if we would be having this panel in 1996, we wouldn't be talking about Islamic terrorism. We'd be talking about militia terrorism.
If John Walker Lind had converted to Buddhism, like a lot of people in the San Francisco area, we wouldn't be talking about him.
Actually, there is a lot of suicide terrorism is conducted by Buddhists in Sri Lanka. You know, there is all kinds of terrorism. It's the behavior that we have a concern with, not the religion, not the ideology. If we focus on the behavior as government actors, we'll be far more likely to stop the people who are actually doing bad things rather than people who we simply disagree with.